Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UKLC. My name is J.K. Perry Matthews. I'm joined by Rick Saga Sharples and Dan Orcs Harrison.
Did the names this time?
Yeah, you did the full thing.
Last time I had such a brain fart, I was like, I'm with a dude.
Well, you're correct.
Yeah, I'm not.
More than I am.
He's a surfer dude.
More
You a
correct,
surfer?
more correct than I have been today.
Yeah, actually. Do we have the predictions to bring up? Because I want to rub it in. I want to rub it in so bad. I'm on fire right now. Oh, look at that! I believed, and it worked.
Yeah.
By the way, if Demise lose this, then you've gone 1 for 4, and like, there's no way you could have got the XL1 wrong. Let's be real. Oh boy. Hey, wait, hold on.
No. We
What's
don't
that?
need to. No.
Am I in first place right now?
Not for long.
You just
Well, but you,
took a dump on Chronicles Legacy, man. He was first since him, and now.
listen, I said Ollie was gonna in last week, and he didn't.
Come
so-
on,
so I
MnM.
have to pick up the slack.
We need you right now. I'm looking at you, Shogun, and you, sir, and Nolty as well. You're very good at this. I need you guys to just run it down for me. You lose this game, and Jake gets no points for the last 2. So,
Yeah,
please.
that would actually be a real kick.
Nolty,
but you
pick
still
at
can't
least.
overtake me.
Pick at least Nolty, Shogun, your
can.
Pike
You
last
can.
week looked, something else, and you saw on the Cassiopeia. Those are the picks I need you to take just to help me out here.
Well, don't help him out. Let's have a little look at our MVP coming out of that last game. It is going to be Infinity in the jungle. This dude's Carthus, man. Wow, he was really proactive and just walking at people and like, you're going to die, and now I'm going to press R. Oh, wait, no one died. But it doesn't matter because I killed the rest of
Like,
you.
I know it's a still image and he can't hurt me, but I'm just terrified just looking at that face. It's like he wants my soul to be torn from my body.
I pictured that was what was floating at them towards him as Carthus is just like that with the field around him just floating towards them.
I've got to question why Dabbler's didn't ban away Infinity's Carthus. Because Infinity's looked okay in a couple of picks, but he hasn't really been like a top tier jungler other than when he's on Carthus, and then he just looks like something else.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was pretty disrespectful leaving that one open. Although I don't think that was the only issue, but that was definitely something I wouldn't have personally liked to go up against. And I don't think anyone else would have enjoyed that experience either.
Well, I'm fairly certain that Abelas did not enjoy dealing with the God of Death himself. But let's have a little look at our next matchup. Our final match of the day is going to be MnM taking on Demise. Now, Demise, the rookies to the split,
They've
had arguably a better performance than Envision, just kind of off the last few
I'm not
weeks.
sure that's arguable. I think that's just fact.
They've been factually better than Envision. MnM has
He's doing it already.
factually.
He's on our side. Yes.
MnM have actually
Converted
been
him.
better than Demise. You have to keep in mind that Demise are 1 point behind MnM currently because MnM had a pretty poor week last week.
Yeah. Which I put them in last week. So thanks, guys.
Just do it again. Do it again for the team.
Like I said,
It's just so frustrating. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It's like every team I predict
you're so smart.
loses. I feel like all the teams should be paying me. I'm like, please, Orc, don't predict our team this week because then we
It's
actually have a chance. Everyone I pick just loses.
You're
I'm
just
pissed.
too smart. You're just a week ahead of the schedule.
I guess.
I voted for Dabbler's once and they burned me, so I was like, I'm going for Envision this week, and it worked.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm pretty sure didn't I go for Dabbler the same week? I'm cursed.
Yeah,
you can't. I swear.
Well, yeah, because you got 0 points last week, so yeah.
Do the opposite of me and you'll just end up on top.
That's it. So like next time I send you a message on Twitter being like, hey Saga, who do you think's gonna win these matches for the prediction?
Think about
just
it.
Say just say
do the opposite.
who's Orcs put, and I'll tell you, and
That's
then
a
you
good
can
point.
just put the
I've
opposite.
never actually asked what he's put. To be fair, this week I just went all in on Hell Classico Part 2. We're not going to get it, but
you got burnt.
Halfway there, we still have a chance.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Please,
I mean,
Demise.
we could actually have the 2 rookie teams playing against each other. If Demise take this win, we could have Envision versus Demise, and that's another kind of real cool matchup again. I think that'll be the 3rd time they play together against each other. Sorry,
It will be, yeah.
That should be a really interesting matchup.
And it would be 2-0 to Demise still, but
Yeah.
Envision, they look on fire. I think they could bring it back.
Well, the walls are on fire. Unfortunately, you're not burning a heart enough from Fiore, but let's have a little look at our table, our elimination table here. So you can see who's been taken out by who so far. Now, this is why I was confident in voting for MnM, because across all the first 4 weeks, MnM have only dropped games to XL or Fnatic Rising. Demise have dropped to Fnatic Rising and Diabolus have dropped to XL, MnM, and Enclave, and now Envision.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dabbler's have been on sort of a downward trend. They start off really hot, but they've, they lost to XL, who were looking great in week 1. Then they lost to MnM, they're a good team. then they gave Enclave their first point, and credit to Enclave, they played really well, but it's just been like, And then they go up against Envision, who are another team at the bottom end, and they lose there. And it's really raising a lot of doubts towards Diabolus and what direction their roster's going in, because they started off really strong, and then they've struggled. I feel like Demise and MnM, this is their chance to match up against each other, because it's hard to read too much into it. You can obviously say that Demise losing to Diabolus isn't a great sign, but at the same time, you know, I feel like they have been on the up. They have been getting stronger, I think, against MnM, especially MnM, who looked a bit questionable last week.
Yeah, they had a good start, though. You have to keep in mind. They had a good start, but then it crumbled against XL.
Yeah. And you remember that game against Envision where, you know, 4 minutes, 4-0, and it's like,
Yeah, that was a juicy one.
Well, let's have a little look at our roster. Starting up on the blue side, it is going to be the new team to the UKLC. It's going to be Demise, Zyko in the top lane, Hidden in the jungle, Vixen mid, then Voxnate ADC, and Vigo as support.
And looking to put a stop to Demise's rise will be MnM. On the opposite side, I should have said Rise of Demise. That would have been better.
Yeah.
Only Angel in the top lane, Nolty in the jungle, Chibs mid, Yusa, AD carry, and Shogun on support.
And I'm glad we talked a little bit about Yusa and Shogun. I know you were kind of trolling, but like they have not impressed me as much as when I saw these two put together on bot lane, I was like, wow, that's a stacked bot lane for MnM. But they've kind of not impressed me as much as in previous splits, because Shogun's been a player who I've personally had a lot of faith in for a very long time. When I first saw him, I was like, this guy has some serious potential. Yusa, obviously rookie of the split permanently. He's been one of our kind of staple top laners. Staple AD carries, but so far he's kind of not really shown up to the degree that I expected. And while we're talking a little bit about Yusa, I had a little chat with him and asked him about what he thought of Demise's bot lane.
And Vigo and then Voxnay, I think they're a competent bot lane within the UKLC. I think they do well against the lower tier teams, but compared to me and Shogun, I don't think they'll be able to match up quite as equally.
He doesn't think they're going to be able to match up. He does think they're stable and a pretty solid bot lane, but he doesn't think compared to him and Shogun, not going to match up.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of expectations coming with the MnM roster, and I think on paper it's one of those things where MnM are favored in this matchup, and it's why a lot of people predicted them, but it doesn't matter what you can do on paper. It's Demise, it's how you play on the day, and right now, I mean, last week, yes, they were against Fnatic, but Shogun and Yusa looked a bit lost. I don't know if it was down to the picks, because Shogun looked overconfident on the pike, and Yusa just looked, I mean, his position was really questionable in the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, well, we did actually also have a little chat with Dem Voxnay, the AD carry for Demise, and we asked him actually the same question. What did he make of MnM's bot lane?
We're playing against MnM's bot lane, and I think we can beat them quite easily, actually. Which might be a little controversial, but I've seen their VOD reviews, and Yusa plays so much for his team, and mostly on Demise we play for me, depending on the draft, of course, but we play for bot lane, and they don't seem to play for bot lane, they seem to play for top side.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
also, I got a note that he looks surprised when it came on. It's pre-recorded, by the way, but he looks so surprised. Like, I'm on camera. It's just how we cut it. But yeah, I mean, like he's kind of right, to be honest. They have been playing towards Chibs and only Angel. And when we think about Yusa from, splits gone by, when we think about Yusa as the Diabolus AD carry from last split, it was the Yusa show, man. Like this guy, he didn't play for the team. He put the game on his back, played for 30 minutes, and then hard carry.
You had Crocs in the mid lane who could play safe mages and be a monster no matter what. Kerberos had his own sort of pressure, usually in a split push on a scaling champion like Vlad. And then Monk just apply all the pressure to the bot lane. And you're right, it's a completely different dynamic here on MnM. And I think that's where the issues sort of come from.
All right, well, Diabolus, they're going to take away the Olaf de Kiana as Envision. That's not Envision. Wait, hold on.
Yep, that's
we got completely the wrong overlay here.
He'll get sorted shortly, don't worry. It is obviously, as you can see from the names of the players, MnM on the right and Demise on the left. Bans coming in pretty quickly. Olaf taking off Nolty, which is a pretty big one because he's looked really solid on that. His Elise, not so much. His Olaf, pretty good. Silas is another big one, so I'm not sure if they're going to keep that one open for him, but I think Nolty's been a very champ-dependent jungler.
Yeah, you're very right, because I think we think about his Elise, think about his Xin Zhao, and it's a woo.
Yeah.
But then we think about some of the other picks he's picked up. Something like a Jarvan, or something he can really kind of make some work happen on. I mean, What's that kind of like priority pick here for Nolty? I think the Silas, like you were saying,
Well, Olaf's banned away.
Yeah.
Silas otherwise.
Nolty seems to be really, really good at the champions where you kind of just throw yourself at people.
Hey.
Not so much maybe the skill shot champions like you say Elise, but Hecarim as well is something that he's had really good performances on historically. And that is another champion where you're just looking to run at people and get engages through that kind of playstyle. So relatively similar to Olaf could be something that they're looking to pick up.
Yeah, Silas actually taken off the card, so it won't be a possible one. And then Demise first pick that Karma. We did see the priority drop in our first game, but still a very powerful pick and can be flexed pretty heavily. But
that was left open.
Okay.
yeah, leaves open Aurelia, and the thing is, it can be played by Only Angel or Chibs pretty competently. Both of them very happy to use this champion, and that's my concern.
I mean, I was about to say, Akali's open. That was a
monster.
monster first round for him. So basically, I'm going 4-0 on the day.
Right.
Well, you know, it's early days, but this is definitely the picks you want to sort of see Only Angel and Chibs on. A lot of proactive pressure, but Unboxing has looked really good on the Xayah. I'm wondering if they're going to take the reconnaissance away here. Vigo had a solid performance on that, actually got our unsung hero as well. But instead, it looks like they're going to draft a secure solo lane and keep the Karma flex available. So they take the LeBlanc, a lot of mobility, survivability that you can use against the likes of those picks, because I think if you pick something like that is immobile, doesn't have the safety, you will get destroyed.
Yes, we're definitely looking for a second round of bans on the Rakan from MnM. Yumi's already been taken off the board, so looking at what Demise picked last week in their matchups, Nautilus will be the only one standing, so could potentially be a second ban if they're expecting that Karma to be towards the top side against likely to be Irelia or potentially the Akali.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Devoxny talk about how MnM were very topside focused. Look at the picks so far. You have really snowbally all-in champions on the top mid, and then Yusuf just locked in the Ezreal, which to me is, let's just chill in the bot lane.
I'm just by myself this game.
Yeah,
that was what the Diablos were looking for in the last game, but Infinity had other ideas. So we're really going to need to see a very strong early game jungler from Demise who can have some impact towards the lanes that are potentially looking to either be snowbally in one direction or one that's going to be looking to play a little bit more passive.
Yeah, and Hidden, he did actually look really good in his games last week. He is able to play things like the Jarvan. He played Skarner and Aatrox last week. The Aatrox has been taken off the cards. I think Skarner would be a decent ban here because it is really going to shut down a lot of what MnM likes to do, but instead they go for their pocket pick, which is that Nunu, so it does leave the possibility of those things still available. And Demise have been targeting the support pool. They've taken the Tom Kench off the cards. Jogan is confident to play something like the Pike, and it would facilitate his roaming, but after the performance he had last week, not so sure.
Not sure about that, but the Sejuani will get taken away now as MnM now looking to pick up most likely their support in this round, and then they can kind of pick up a jungler. I mean, they actually kind of have the world is kind of their oyster at this point because we know that it's going to be Akali or Aurelia, mid or top. They've already picked their AD carry up, so like all their kind of counter picks so far are there. I guess you go for your top pick jungler here. So you want to get yourself, you know, a high priority jungler, something can provide engage to go alongside with that Aurelia, with that Akali, and they just leave the support as their last pick, so now they can make sure they get a comfortable bot lane. Because like we were saying, Yusuf and Shogun haven't quite performed to the level we expect from them, so they want to get themselves as good of a matchup as possible.
I think the Jarvan makes a lot of sense because obviously Nalty has a shorter champion pool. We've seen him have issues on some champs. They pick up the Jarvan pretty quickly to secure it, but it does mean Hidden can just take the Skarner in response, which I know he is more than happy with. Played last week, and it was pretty successful. Now it comes down to where they're going to put the Karma and what are they going to put in the solo lane, because to me, it could be a bit risky putting the Karma up against the Aurelia if Zyko isn't prepared for that matchup.
Ooh, okay. That could definitely be something that can match up into the Aurelia. Poppy's seen a couple of buffs in recent patches.
I think you spotted the same thing as me there.
It's still technically a flex. It's absolutely could match up in the Aurelia. It's a great pick to stop mobility, but it could still technically be a flex. I've been seeing the support Poppy being played somewhat, so it could still go in that lane. It's not a granted, it's not guaranteed.
And another key thing I want to kind of hit on here is how much this stops from MnM. That steadfast presence, now with the grounding effect as well. Like, you're going to lock down an Akali, a Jarvan, and an Aurelia if they try to jump into your team, who are the primary people who will be doing this diving for MnM. We see Shogun pick himself up the Braum as that round out, but I am loving this popping. We'll have to see if it goes support or top.
And it's not only shutting down the primary dive tools on MnM, but it's also where we know they're looking to play around that side of the map. So that's where they're going to be funneling all of their resources. And if you can just press one button and shut all of their champions down, why not take it? So looking as though it will be towards the top lane, and the last second switch from MnM will be up against the Akali, so we'll have to be much more on the point with the timing of the Steadfast Presence if he wants to block out the perfect execution from Akali.
Yeah, it's a lot more mind games, and I think this is the better matchup for MnM that they switched that. Irelia into Poppy, you can struggle. It's very easy to end up blocking it, especially since now you do have the grounding as well. So I think now putting the Akali into it, a lot of sustain on the Akali's kit, especially when you get that Gunblade and you have the Ravenous Hunter. You can essentially just farm it up. You might take have it a bit rough in the early trades because of Poppy's big base damages, but you should be mostly fine. And then the mid lane, LeBlanc has to be really careful because it's very telegraphed where you're going to end up. If you end up dashing back onto a stun, you are liable to get all in. You are pretty squishy. This does mean, however, that Demise have put that bot lane in a pretty comfortable position, having the Xayah and the Karma into the Azure Braum. They will always have lane priority, and they'll be able to shove in and just keep applying pressure.
Yeah, this is exactly what they were talking about in their interviews, is that Demise are going to be looking to play around their bot side, and they have the LeBlanc in the mid lane as well, who can roam down in combination with the jungler and get some additional pressure onto the weak point of the map for MnM, whereas on their side, they're up against a Poppy, so not likely to be seeing too much jungle presence towards the top side for Demise, so it might give a chance for Only Angel to just take over that lane by himself like we saw Borrelia do in the previous.
And I'm loving it as well because we got Chibs on the Aurelia. This is like a pick for... I say this every time it gets picked up, but like I can't think of a champion and a player who kind of like in my head when I think of Aurelia, I think of Chibs. If I think of Chibs, I think of Aurelia. As we head through into our match of the day for week 5, day 1 of the UK League Championship, MnM versus Demise. There is 1 point separating both of these teams, and it is all to play for. Winner of this goes up versus Envision as well in tomorrow's games.
Yeah, and the big thing is Demise 2-0 against Envision, so feeling confident if they do get through this game, but that's the big thing. MnM are not going to make this an easy match.
The bigger thing is, if MnM win, Jake's ahead in predictions.
Oh, God.
I mean, no matter what.
Like further ahead.
I mean,
so we need to...
It's not the end of the week, okay? So if you lose this, you at most can draw with the guest spot.
Yeah.
Which obviously Saga's running at the moment. And if Saga gets the final prediction for the Tower Champion, he will pull ahead again. I'm miles away.
Hey man, I've thrown a curveball. I've gone for MnM. I'm a believer.
I did that last week. You know, you can go on Twitter
No,
and see how that paid off.
I'm normally right and you're not. So.
Yeah. Well, no, that's with predictions. With everything else,
I mean, it's 60 gold he wouldn't have had.
With everything, with predictions, sure, but with everything else, you can't say that you're normally right.
When it comes to this, I'm normally right.
This one thing, out of everything.
You were right though about the Zyra Nico. We've been trying this Zyra Nico bot lane. It is horrible. It is really horrible.
Yeah, just a double route, but
cyberbullying bot lane.
It literally
actually is. It really is. Actually, you feel bad. You're like, what did the enemy team do here? All right, Saga. I want to have a little chat about Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
So you're a DM, aren't you?
Not backdoors into
Nerds. You're playing with Prospero Notorious, aren't you?
Yes.
But shut up. So me and you are both DMs.
It's true.
I'm assuming you've played before.
I have indeed.
What is your best character?
Okay. My best character was a goblin from the Stone Kicker clan who was like the kind of clan thief, and they all had names that were related to their role. So he was the thief, so he was called Fingers Stone Kicker.
Fingers Stone Kicker?
Because he yoinked things with his fingers.
Well, it'd be weird if he did it with his toes.
No, that was
that was a... I don't know if you were just watching that engage, but like Chibs got the stun onto Vixen, dashed on him, and then just ulted him like 6 times in a row.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Like LeBlanc kind of needs at least level 3 really to kind of get always effective trades, especially versus the likes of an Aurelia.
But I mean, Chibs then dashed to a minion to dodge away from the W, so
yeah.
it was a big outplay.
It was a big outplay. I mean, Chibs, like I said, this is like just his champion. Nolty's going for a cheeky invade here. And is this a free buff for Nolty?
Yeah, it will be. I thought he was going to pass the blue over to Chibs, but he's not that generous.
That'd be a true bro move. That'd be a true bro move.
I would really be playing around your solo lanes, but nope. Chibs just comes over for a little bit of extra vision, making sure that Hidon on Skarner can't get anywhere close.
And you can see
to steal that one away.
This is the big issue, is that most Predator junglers like to do the red side clear, they do all 3 camps, and then they recall for boots so they can get access to the Predator. That's what Hidden's done. He's done his full red side, He recalled, now he's gone for that scuttle.
He just scried out an empty part of the map as well.
Yeah, but he lost his blue buff because he went for this predator-focused jungle clear.
I need to interrupt you, Orcs, because I want to know, Potshot, who was Father Shrek? Why was that your best character?
Ooh.
That was a good dodge by you, sir.
Yeah, dodged over the Q. That can backfire massively.
That goes really well or really bad.
Everyone's seen those situations before where you try and flash over something and you just take it straight in the face. I'm sure you've done that before, Jake.
No, he gets everything right.
I didn't even think about doing those kind of dodges. It's actually, we're going to see another one of those trades by Chips. He is going all in onto Vixen. Gets the W and the Ignite down. Vixen's low, he's burning. This is first blood to Chips in the mid lane.
And he just managed to find a solo kill. Builds up the damage, lands a stone, and Vixen caught off guard there.
And that is why Chibs on Irelia is the iconic duo. Procs up that Conqueror, immediately dives onto Vixen, and the tower will not save him from the Ignite that has already been popped down, and that is already advantage to MnM.
And top lane's looking pretty advantageous
Lord, what a
too.
trade. Zyko uses the Steadfast way too late. Good trade there for Only Angel. If he used that earlier, that trade could have been very different.
I mean, this is showing why MnM play around their solo lanes. They are so stellar. Vixen, I have to admit, has looked pretty rough going up against a lot of the mid lanes in the league. And Zyko, team fights like a monster, but his laning phase has not been there. And now Chibs and Only Angel, they're really sort of exposing them right now. Sure, then Voxney and Vigo have pressure bot. They're up a bit in CS. But that doesn't really compare to the amount of pressure that's been applied by MnM's solo lanes. You look at the CS differences, you look at the fact that Chibs already has a solo kill, I'd be concerned.
Yeah, and especially when you're looking at Nolty in comparison to Hidden this game, is Nolty is just taking over both sides of the jungle. He's already up by around 10 CS, which in the jungle is a pretty big deal, especially this early on. He's taking away the shrines, making sure that he's getting some vision down as well so we can keep track of Hidden, particularly around this bottom side of the map, which is where they're going to be wanting to play around. And especially if Yusa does keep using his Arcane Shift for farm like he's done a couple of times so far, as soon as Hidden gets that level 6, he can be a huge threat, so they need to keep tabs on him.
Yeah, you can actually see that Shogun's been jumped onto. The rest of the team going in for this Drake. Shogun forced to flash away, and now Teleport's committing. MnM commit 5 towards the bot side of the map. This will give Zyko a little bit of free time on that top lane turret.
That's honestly a pretty favorable trade. I mean, the downside is the fact that Demise burnt through flash. The upside, however, is they forced Only Angel's teleport, and Zyko gets some alone time with the tower. Not sure if he already procced his Conqueror or he just didn't opt to go it there. I think that's about the damage Conqueror does, so may well have just used it, but is going to get some platings here and has gained that level 6 before Only Angel. So we said discrepancy was starting to show in the top lane. That's been shored up because Only Angel was forced to TP down, but still, this mid lane's where I'm concerned, especially Chips now has a Tiamat. Good stun dodge away. Second chain of the minions.
Takes a really big trade in favor of Vixen there. Missed the Q, so he didn't have it to be able to kind of reset and get some damage down. He's gone for the Tiamat instead of what normally we see is kind of like a wit's end start, but he wants to be able to shove versus LeBlanc, because LeBlanc struggles with the waves. And you kind of have to burn the W to clear the wave, or burn the W to trade. So Tiamat kind of naturally makes that favored towards Chibs.
Yeah, I think Chibs' game plan here is just going to be shove in, shove in, shove in, and then he's going to have priority on any roams. If Vixen's burning mana and cooldowns just to clear out the wave, he's not going to be having a fun time. And you saw, even though he landed the initial chains there, Chibs having the minions on his side backed up his damage and also meant that the second chains wasn't able to connect.
Yeah, and this is exactly what MnM need to be doing to shut down the game plan from Demise. As we've said, they're going to be looking to play around their bot side. Hidden's still not level 6, so he still can't get down and have impact in that lane. And even if he could, Nolty's sat on a pink ward just off to the side, ready for it. So it's going to be him who has the first aggression.
The flag, the drag, the cataclysm comes down. Then Voxney, no ultimate available, and this will just be the end of days. Yusa, they're trying to gift him the kill, but then Voxney is just running away, and will be Yusa's kill to take as he hits level 6.
And that's the problem, is they burn all those flashes when they're trying to contest the Ocean Dragon. MnM capitalized perfectly on the lack of summoner spells, and this is the issue. You take Zaya into a Jarvan, if he cataclysms you, all you can do is dash up in the air. It wasn't even available then, but you're always going to be locked in that cage unless you have flash.
Just another little thing that goes wrong as well.
Oh, for the ulti.
This could be another one, but as Hidden is looking to capitalize on Nolty making the play bot by taking away Nolty's topside jungle, well, Nolty's already, they mirrored the start, so he's just walked his way into the bottom side and taken Hidden's back, so he didn't even lose anything from going for the play.
Double chains do connect, but Vixen gets stunned up, and Chibs still has one more stack on that corrupting potion after he's done with this one, so he's feeling fairly comfortable right now. Got himself a handy CS lead over Vixen, and now jumps in with a Q just for getting a little bit of a trade-off there.
And this just makes it so hard for Vixen on LeBlanc. She's constantly have to distortion in just to help thin the wave so that she can clear it. And Chibs, all he has to do is just spam his Q. He shoves the lane in, shoves the wave in, sorry, and it doesn't even matter how much Vixen trades with him. He can't kill him as of yet. All he does is end up chunking him out, and then he just sustains back up again.
Now, MnM have actually opted into swapping lanes here, so they wanted to get Akali out of that matchup where she isn't going to be able to really find any solo kills against Poppy and potentially get a sneaky pick-off, as maybe Voxnate isn't going to be expecting the assassin here, but 3 members of Demise looking to collapse on.
Yeah, and Only Angel smartly does back away, but there's been some platings are open for them to punish. In return, Yusa and Shogun are looking on the top side, but they are losing this fight as of yet.
Yeah, don't really have the minion wave to work with as of yet as well. Now you can see Only Angel's made his way back. I'm nicking your words. Or phrases, I guess. Turn of phrases. The one is Nolty now steals away at
Dicey, you can have that one.
Yeah, Dicey.
Crucially, that's another big one too.
Book. Kook book. The kook book. Have a look in the old kook book.
Flawless.
Is that a new word for you? It's quite a long one for you.
What are you trying to say? Well, you know, it's not quite on the level of Wham Bam.
Wham bam.
Go and finish it.
I have no
Fight is done.
Wham bam, fight is done.
I respect myself too much.
That would be better than what I said. This actually should be Demise getting himself first turret here. I don't think the contest is even going to be remotely close here by MnM. So Demise do come out on top with getting themselves first turret blood, and that kind of stems the bleeding from this gold deficit they've accrued early. But that's going to be the Rift Herald summoned, and they're probably just going to use it mid lane.
Yeah, the tower's already pretty low. The Herald and the grouped team members should be enough to take this down. And mid tower so early, that's a pretty big advantage to MnM.
Yeah, she can't clear this wave. Or maybe she can. Just like that. Pops in, Shogun. Gonna take a tower shot for his troubles, but the Rift Herald charge will still come through. Yusa and Shogun both in range to pick up the gold. Should be able to finish off this tower with very little trouble from Vixen. He did just burn through all of his abilities once again to clear out the wave. He's been having to do that a lot in this matchup against Chibs' Irelia. It'll be no different.
Stun goes a little bit wide, but that's going to be the end of the steadfast presence. Chib throws out the Vanguard's in. A great hammer comes down to secure Chibs a path away from Zyko. Only got the Tiamat in the face so far. Not really got the burst damage quite yet.
A little bit of an early steadfast presence though from Zyko. I think he was maybe not expecting himself to dodge away from the stun. Did use it for the movement speed to avoid it though. But the big thing is that Zyko doesn't have very many items at all. But the one thing he's picked up is that null magic mantle, obviously to go up against the Akali. So laning him up against Chibs is pretty unfavorable because Chibs, he's farmed up and he has quite a lot of damage already. You can see Zyko, he's finished off that Spectre's Cowl. He has a Balmy Cinder. Great if he's going up against the Akali. Not so much up against Chibs.
Yeah, and even the Akali's building the Bilgewater Cutlass as the first item, so still not maybe going to be providing as much resistances against all of that hybrid damage that will be coming out from the Akali in the earlier phases.
And Roxy does need to be careful. Nolty is waiting in the wings, but has got the help of Vigo and Hidden with him. Cloud Drake is spawned up here, and it's less exciting Drakes than we've had for the rest of the day, unfortunately, in our match of the day, but MnM are on form to try and get this objective. You can see Chibs has made his way down, actually gets pulled in by the Impale. The stun's going to be enough. They get the root down, and that might just be the end of Chibs. Vigo secures the kill. The Feather Storm's already been used. Voxnate tries to pull back the Feathers, but he's not going to be in range to do so. Only Angel gets himself a kill onto Hidden. It's a trade 1-for-1 in favor of MnM at the moment. As they are going a bit more damage. That's going to be the wall bang by Zyko onto Shogun. Steadfast Presence has flashed away. Make sure he can't get out, and actually Demise come out on top from this fight.
Yeah, still 1-for-1, but they have the pressure, they have the priority, they force MnM away. They are starting to heal up this ocean though, and I'm not sure they're going to go for the dragon when their jungler's running from base, so all in all, not a massive amount goes down, but it shows Chibs has to be really careful, hasn't opted to go for an early QSS, and if Hidden wants to kill him, it's pretty easy to do so.
Yeah, Yusa does so much damage to that True Shot Barrage, man.
Yeah, he really does already. He hasn't even started to stack up any sort of AP with his build either. And Vixen, what are you doing here, buddy?
You are forced to use your Zhonya's. The rest of the team coming in. Nolty, does he want to greed? No. Just forces out the Zhonya's from Vixen, and he's happy with that. Now it's towards the Cloud Drake for MnM.
Yeah.
Knowing that Demise are down a mid laner.
Yeah, this is going to be basically 4v5 on the map because Vixen has to reset. then Voxney was low as well, so this should be a free pick up for MnM.
Go on, Vigo! Not going to be enough.
He tried. He tried. You got to respect it.
He didn't have quite as much damage as I thought he did.
Yeah, he is a support Karma. Not turn. Would you see first item picked up by Voxney is that Essence Reaver. Overall, though, not a massive amount of completed items by really anyone. But you can see Chibs has a lot of components of this Triforce. When he has to complete it, he is going to be a massive threat.
Yeah, and Yusa's already stacking up the tier as well as has the Iceborne Gauntlet as well. So it won't be long before he gets to that point too.
You can see Chibs is in there, waits for the distortion to come out. Now he's looking to chase. That's going to be the ulti onto Vixen. The stun's going to connect, and Chibs can chase. One more Blade Surge. Chibs gets the solo kill. That might be the Triforce finishing up, lads.
Yeah, and Vixen just did get completely caught off guard by Chibs, hiding that brush, burns his distortion, and then waits a very long time to use his second distortion. Just Chibs styling on this mid lane matchup.
And he gets his signature champion. He's going to look comfortable on it, and, well, when these guys look comfortable on the MnM team, you know how high their peaks can be, and Yusa and Shogun have been doing reasonably well for themselves as well, picking up not too much of a disadvantage being in what we expected to be a little bit of a lane that they would get pressured out in, and they have actually been, grouping up with their team, taking down objectives, knocking down turrets as well as another one falls for MnM.
Have Demise had a blue buff this game? I'm...
Yes,
apparently Yusa's going to give it to them. He felt sorry for him. The rest of the team are barreling towards this mid lane. Then Voxney dodges out. The true shots coming in. Chips is on the flank. Gets a two-man stun. That's going to be the Glacial Fissure. Chips gets rooted up by the Blade Cooler, but Yusa secures himself a kill onto Vigo. The flash forward by Nolty. That's going to be the end of Dem Voxney as Chips gets himself another kill. Hidden gets pulled down, and only Angel takes him out. MnM with 3 quick kills.
Great flank coming out from MnM. Chibs coming on the side and gets the double stun from the Fog of War. The big thing we said is Zyko's Poppy needs to be there to stop this mobility. He was down farming bot lane.
And this is the... Let's have a look at the fight again. Let's just have a look at the fight again.
Yes, the stun has already come out from this point from Chibs, and Den Voxney in the previous fight around the Dragon Pit was able to survive through a lot of it with that Blade Caller. And this time, it wasn't enough as Chibs just flashes forwards and finishes off that secondary kill. Man, it's difficult when you're playing as Desire and you don't have the defensive tools. And no, Yusa
just comes back and picks it up.
Just yoinked it.
Had enough time to do so, comes back and picks it up, gets a blue buff regardless. And I think it shows Demise's mentality at the moment. They are scared of MnM. They don't want to engage them. They just want to look to get some farm and scale up. And any objective, no matter how big or how small, they are just going to respect MnM's strength right now, particularly Chibs, who has been monstrous so far this game.
And I think, like, remember I was talking a little bit about how I found Yusa and Shogun underwhelming so far this split? This is one of the games where, like, while they haven't had, like, the flashiest performance, they haven't needed to. They've done their job. They didn't lose bot lane. They actually won bot lane. They felt relatively comfortable, and now they're able to scale up and kind of play with the rest of the team. Yusa, like Den Voxney said, is playing for the team, and this is where Demise... When Den Voxney pops off, they look good because he is really far ahead. But MnM, they don't have to rely on just one person to carry. They have 3 potential people, all good enough, all strong enough to carry this team. As Chibs is playing a dangerous game, but he's still fairly comfortable in this bot lane. I legit think he might be able to 1v3 here.
Demise tried to beat them at their own game, at Chibs at his own game, by hiding in the brush against him, but he manages to spot them out and back off. And it just shows what sort of desperation plays Demise need. The fact that you need 3 members, one of which is Skarner, who's great in these skirmishes, just to try and pick a member.
Angel's onto Vixen. That's the Gunblade use. A lot of damage out from the 5-point strike, and only Angel doesn't actually commit the ulti or the flash there. He is happy just burning Vixen out of lane.
The fact he can do that without using his ult at all just shows how disastrous things are going. Vixen can't hold a lane. Zyko's the only one who can really defend against either of these solo laners, and even then he's struggling. MnM, you know, Den Voxney said they play their top side. Well, it works.
It's a Triforce finished up onto Chibs now as well. With that Tiamat, he's able to outshove anybody on Demise, bar maybe Den Voxney. Steadfast Presence once again used by Zyko early. Doesn't actually really cost him too much this time because
is it part 2?
He's not going in, but this might just be part 2 like you said. That's going to be the double chains actually thrown down. The Shuriken flips there. Den Voxney jumps away. Sorry, Vixen jumps away. Only Angel has the ulti. Burns the flash from Vixen. It might just be the repeat gank this time.
Just the patience on Only Angel to still not use the ulti. He forces him away though. Vixen low HP, and it means the rest of the Demise has to clap, but they're in trouble.
They are. That's going to be the Impale into the instant stun. Hidden is going to get caught up in the Cataclysm. Pins him down. That's going to be 1 kill for Only Angel. That's why you hold the ult for the team fight, for the double kill. Chips gets it, and MnM once again come up with 3.
MnM corral Demise in. They force them to move over the top side and catch them in the rotation. They cut them down quickly in this game. We called it match of the day. It's looking like stomp of the day.
Yeah, once again, it's Zyko
Oh,
not with
no!
the team.
That was a weird knock-up. I've never seen that interaction. Shogun is going to tank up for the towers. Chips is unstoppable. The heals are going to come down, and Chips walks away with the kill. This would be a turret for MnM in the mid.
The fact that the Poppy can be dived in that way, so tanky, so versatile, stuns Chips into the wall, and still goes down with nothing to show for it. It shows how dire things are right now. 9,000 gold lead to MnM.
How many buffs have Demise had this game? Because they are about to lose their red to Yusa. Not a single blue buff has been picked up by Hidden.
I think Yusa's had as many buffs as Hidden has this game.
I legit think you're right. Actually, Yusa might have had more, honestly. Like, not even joking at this point.
It's not been good for the buffs this game for Demise, but to be honest, it hasn't been good for them in any way. They've got no dragons, they have 1 tower, great, and 1 kill.
Our last 2 games have both been decided heavily about how the jungle has gone early. And it's just like, backfiring jungle has just cost these teams so much. I guess they were right. Better jungler wins.
It could be true, but I mean...
That is true.
You say Demise, they've got the 1 tower, but they only actually got that because MnM initiated the lane swaps, and Demise were kind of ready for it, I guess, with the 3 members in the bot lane forcing Only Angel out. But they traded it back for the Rift Herald and got so much more out of it for MnM.
Vixen, he just can't match up versus anyone. He's just got the Luden's Echo into a Titanic Hydra Triforce, picked up onto Chips. It's the Gunblade and the Oblivion Orb for Only Angel. Like, what does Vixen do at this point? We look at kind of like everybody else and where they are. Hidden just got his Cinderhulk finished up into Nolte, who's rocking the James Bond scoreline with his Stone Plate and his Cinderhulk finished up, and the Kindle Gem. This guy is going to be so hard to cut through. He has so much like just base health and stats to work with.
The thing is that he does a reasonable amount of damage as well on the back of his Cinderhulk and his Red Smite and his Conqueror. And you can't put any damage into him. It's the same with Shogun. Not so much the damage, but the fact he can soak so much. But you have to kill these 3 carries from MnM. If you leave one of them up, they still might just solo win the team fight. They're so strong.
Every time I look at Vixen, he is dashing away from someone.
Yeah, it feels like he's just playing in reverse. He can only dash backwards. There's no lane he can hold comfortably. He can't handle Chips. He can't handle Only Angel. I feel like Yusa could go in a side lane and probably solo him at this point. Maybe even Shogun.
Zyko's taking a bit of a trade versus Only Angel with that 5-point strike. A lot of sustain. This is what we're talking about with the Gunblade. Chains have been used just to try and hold the wave for the moment, as MnM have got a pretty effective 1-3-1 going on for the moment. They started to set up a little bit of loose vision around the Baron, but nothing too dominant yet. They want to get more if they want to attempt this objective.
Yeah, and maybe the saving grace for Demise is that still only Shogun is the one on MnM who has a QSS. So they have a very, very small window of opportunity to maybe get a couple of picks here, and Chips forced to flash exactly because of that.
Yeah, but still, they bear the flash from Chips, which is great, but they don't get a kill. They don't get that massive 550 gold shutdown. And in terms of pressure, still fairly non-impactful. Hidden's trying to move up and get some control of this jungle area, but it's going to be a struggle. And the talking point of this game for me has been MnM have played to their game. They've set the plays up. They've forced everything. And Demise, it just feels like they've reacted the whole time, and they've struggled to keep up. And although only 1 point is a difference between them, you can tell how much more coordinated and practiced MnM are at playing competitive games.
And you can tell just how desperate Demise are getting to find something with this Skarner, as 3 members once again in the top lane, even with the Karma speed up, chasing down onto Chips, but he sees them from a mile away, just turns and walks away.
Double Cloud Drake, he puts himself at a distance where he knows that he'll be safe from even the speed up Karma. He's playing with a lot of respect, and now Vixen has to be very careful. It just looks like MnM are going to come and take the tower, do a bit of a hit and run, but Chips maybe gets impaled back. The chains are going to connect. They pull him underneath the tower, throws out the W, and that is going to be the end of him. MnM lose 1, and now they step away.
Big shutdown going to Dem Voxnay. If there's anyone who you want to get that gold, it's him, but not sure if it'll be enough. They punish him, but they've still lost so much. Still 10,000 gold down.
You could say they punished him, but really, it was just a quicker recall, as now he's picked himself up the QSS. So that overstep of aggression, next time cannot possibly be punished as hard as it was there, because outside of the Impale, there really isn't that much actual lockdown for Demise that can come through in a snap second. A lot of it is channeled with the roots and with poppy stuns into walls. It's all very situational.
Yeah, and everyone has so much mobility on the side of MnM. Unless Hidden is able to get on top of you, you're going to struggle to follow up with all that. Big talking point as well, we said Hidden was constantly looking just to find these plays, punish these split pushes. In the meantime, Nolte has farmed up a Storm. 176 CS to 94. He is so farmed on this Jarvan, and it's given him a 2,000 gold lead just between the junglers. And that, although he's not the most impactful person on MnM to have all that gold, he's going to be so bulky, so hard to cut through, especially when you look at the side of Demise. There's limited damage output.
Yeah, but
LeBlanc is a burst champion, and then Zaire, I mean, if you can get a ton of feathers and sustained auto attack, sure, but it's not enough.
Yeah, there is the impactful champion of, I mean, Chibs on the Irelia, who's up about 4,000 gold over Vixen as well. So
can we actually have a toggle of the gold? That'd be lovely.
It's actually gross.
Oh
That is
my
a big gap.
lord, that is rough. But actually, it looks like for now, MnM is going to let you try and take another buff from poor old Hidden. As I don't think he's even going to bother contesting this. Nolte only got himself just the 1 level lead.
We actually need like a GoFundMe just to get Hidden some sort of buff this game.
We need a GoFundMe for Vixen to get some items.
Only Angel gets himself the Shuriken flip away. The rest of the team chasing on. That's the chains to connect.
No QSS.
Uses the Zhonya's to go golden for the moment. Has the ulti, tries to connect in, and he flashes over the wall. Second part of the ulti comes down. Nolte! Sorry, only Angel. What the hell?
And MnM are going to use this time to push up the mid lane.
He might be dead now.
He's doing it.
He might be. I think
Get him,
he's.
Hidden.
I don't think it's done. That is the game, though. The open of the base. They try to get the damage down. The Glacial Fissure connects in. The True Shot Barrage connects onto Duke. Chips secures himself a double kill. A great Cataclysm comes down by Nolte as they chase up for more. Yusa picks himself up a killing spree. 3 kills on, and now Hidden is going to get chased down by the rest of the team. The inhibitor has been cracked. Nolte flashes forward. Hidden's going to get chased up and locked down. The concussive blows are too much for the Scorpion to handle. Chips finds himself his 3rd kill. 9, 2, and 3 on the Aurelia.
And now they run straight over to that Baron. They clean out the entire Demise. They lose only 1 member. And look at the cost to Demise. Their inhibitor down. The Baron about to be taken. They're falling apart, and there's not much they can do against these marshmallows.
Yeah, and as Hidden does his best impression of an Urgot, just suppressing the Akali and murdering her on the spot. In his base, Shogun.
Teleport's coming in. You might have to hold.
Glacial
Demise are looking to contest. That's going to be Chips on a rampage as he takes down 1. The Scribe's all's been used by Zyko. He's been spotted out, and now Chips is looking to chase him down. He comes over the wall. No, he doesn't. He flashes in, gets in for the headbutt, gets a knockup. Not going to steal Baron, mate. You are 1v5. Zyko goes down, and Yusa on a rampage.
It looks almost comical, but that's how desperate Demise are. The only person who could get there was Zyko. He goes for some shoddy attempt at a steal that works 1 time in a million. But that is how desperate they are. That is how bad this game looks.
The only way that works is if he fully channels the Keeper's Verdict and knocks all 3 members of MnM flying back to their base, then hops over the wall and finishes off the last 700 damage on Baron by himself. But unfortunately, the Blast Cone kind of put him in the wrong place, so he had to flash over, couldn't channel the ultimate, and just gets taken down for free for the 17th kill on MnM with a 5-man stacked Baron buff as well.
Chips has himself the Sterix gauge as well. He is so tanky, along with so much damage packed into his kit. He's going to be a problem to deal with as they're looking to crack down their last turret outside of Demise's base.
30 seconds. That's how long I think it would actually take Vixen to kill Chibs if Chibs stood still. I think he'd actually have to go through 2 full rotations, or maybe even 3 to kill him. He's so bulky now. And Vixen just has 0 damage behind him.
Hidden
He's
jumps
coming
in.
over.
He's trying to get himself the stun onto Shogun. Shogun has a QSS. That's going to be the Impale. Vanguard's edge has been thrown down. A 3-man Cataclysm's there. As it's a triple kill. Picked up for Chips. He's going on to Den Voxney. He gets himself a quadra kill. Zyko's getting jumped onto. The Steadfast presence is big. Zyko taxis away with the minions. The rest of the team coming in for the slow. Chips might be going for the pentakill right here, right now. The ace is stolen you. You absolute scumbag. MnM don't care though. They take out Demise. They take out the base. And this will be the game for MnM.
Yusa says, you stole my rookie this split. I'm stealing your penta. Chibs is not happy, but MnM should be. They win the game, they crush Demise, and they prove me wrong once again.
Chibs is out of there. He's going back home. MnM take down the game. 28 minutes on the clock. Demise are just smacked about.
Brutal. Brutal. That was brutal. And we said 1 point apart, these teams looked close. I don't think we can say that anymore.
Yeah, that was pretty one-sided.
And this is why everybody said MnM are the best of the rest. The only team who's not an LEC sister team, who seem to be leaps and bounds ahead of the others. Demise and Diabolus, two teams who are both putting their foot down and saying, no, we are up there with MnM. Both lost today. And man, what a game by MnM.
And that is exactly why we predicted MnM to win, because we knew that they were just the better team.
Yeah, how are you feeling about that, my dude?
Right? Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Points
You know
on
what's the
predictions
worst thing?
today.
It doesn't even hurt anymore. I'm just numb to it. As soon as I pick a team, I know they're gonna lose. It's like a death note. The second I put their names down, I know they lose the game. I'm cursed.
Well, thank you very much, Light, for that. Now, let's have a little bit of a recap about that. I mean, what is there to recap? Chibs got fed. Yusa and Shogun, they look very good in lane. They didn't hard win lane, but they didn't lose lane. They got a few kills here and there, and they just kind of played the mop-up duty.
I think a part of why they actually looked quite as good in their lane is because they kind of avoided it. They did initiate lane swap and let their solo laners just take over the game while they grouped up, took the objective, just got that global gold for their team and got their solo lanes ahead.
Well, our MVP coming out of that game, no surprises, is the man who had his pentakill stolen from him. Chibs, 14, 2, and 4 on the mid lane Aurelia, 82% kill participation. Like, there is a... Why'd you have to rub it in, man?
That hurts. That's got a sting, but
So-
he did have a massive game.
Disconnecting is against the rules, but I think we can let that one slide.
Just comedic purposes.
I think we can let that one slide.
Um,
I would be turbo tilted.
I think the big thing for me is MnM played spectacularly. There's still my concerns as to how they're going to step up to the point where they can match the LEC sister teams, because I feel like in a lot of ways their solo laners do just outclass every other team, but you can't bank on that against the likes of Fnatic and XL. And then my other concern is Demise. Their bot lane has looked solid. Hidden has honestly been the strongest performing member in the past couple of weeks, but their solo laners, it's just looking rough. I feel like Vixen, particularly the laning phase, but just overall, I feel like he's been underwhelming and struggling to compete with other mids. And then Zyko, he can team fight very well, but his laning phase just, he needs work on that. And I think back when we first saw him on the Yasuo, he looked good. He looked good. He managed to find solo kills up against Aurelia. But since then, especially when he's been forced on different picks like the Nico and the Poppy, he seems to struggle every single lane. And the thing is, I don't think Nolte did that much to push the game in his solo lane's favors. I'm not going to discredit him and say he didn't do anything, but those lanes were losing on their own.
Yeah, Nolte was kind of just playing to get himself ahead for
He was the mid-lane catalyst, if you ask me.
He was essentially just strolling around, taking all of Hidden's camps and making sure Hidden couldn't do anything to get his lanes ahead.
Well, actually, funny you say that, because we have a little interview, and it's actually with MnM's jungler, Nolte.
Well, there we go.
Nolte, how you doing, mate?
Hey mate, how you doing? I'm good.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty well after that game.
yeah, I'm not surprised. I need to know, was Chibs actually tilted, or was that a bit of joking? What happened there?
Beyond tilted. We were all, well, I was calling hard to steal it. I was like, yeah, just kill him. Yus was playing the good guys. Oh yeah, give it to him, and then he ended up getting it in the end. But,
Yus is just a snake. We all know that. Yus is a snake.
yeah, this standard.
Yeah.
He lies to your face and then steals your pentakills.
So,
Just the word.
I feel like the obvious question is we look at XL, we look at Fnatic as our two kind of top teams. Do you think this is now the game where you go, okay, we are definitely third in the league? Is that? Do you feel, is there any team that could potentially take that spot from you?
I don't really think so. I think there's like a sizable gap obviously between the LEC teams and us, and then there's like another sort of similar gap between everyone else. It's hard to say, but I don't think anyone below LEC teams will take a game off of us. That's not too cocky to say.
Yeah, that's fair. I was going to ask, so I recently saw that there's a farming simulator tournament. And after that game, do you think you have a decent shot at it?
Yeah, I mean, Javan's pretty good farming champion, so...
I'm pretty sure you spent more time farming camps there. I mean, you had like doubles, yes?
How am I supposed to gank Poppy or LeBlanc?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, to be fair.
Orcs, you're always my harshest
Yeah, I mean,
critic.
to be fair,
I'm helping you improve. That's what I'm
let's be
here
honest.
for.
How are you supposed to gank an enemy solo laner when they're already dead? Because your solo laner's already solo killed them.
True, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
well,
Orcs.
My serious
Yeah,
question
Orcs.
would be, obviously that you've said there's a disparity between you and Fnatic and XL. What would you say is the key to sort of overcoming that disparity?
I think for us, it's mainly just sort of like being able to properly function as a team, like teamwork and communication and stuff like that. So I actually think we have the mechanical talent or the skill or whatever to compete with them, but it's just sort of putting in the hours to actually like become better in like the macro game. So I guess macro is the main thing.
Oh, nice to hear. I was looking at Saga like, you got anything to ask? You're like, no, mate, just
he's
enjoy
saying
listening
it's-
to the
He's
conversation.
saying it's the coach's fault. Is
Oh,
essentially what it is.
okay.
That's what I'm taking
I
away from that
mean,
conversation.
it's hard to match LEC teams' resources, but
Yeah, no.
we'll try.
I think that's a fair statement. I mean, to be fair, you've only lost to XL and Fnatic, so it's a pretty bold statement coming out of you guys so far to kind of, say, we're not going to drop against anyone else.
Yeah.
Obviously, as we look towards playoffs and like how you think everything's going to be shaping out, who are the two teams you don't think are going to make it? That's what I really want to know. I'm like wondering who you think are going to be the two teams you don't have to worry about at all.
I mean, I would say Barrage, but I don't know. Well, no. Like, Barrage should make it, but then obviously every week they just don't make it. So I guess Barrage and Envision probably, I guess.
Barrage and Envision. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, so he's up against
Barrage.
Envision tomorrow.
Yeah,
So,
you are versus Envision tomorrow, so you have to prove that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
that'll
if
be a
they were the
difficult
first non-LEC team to take a game off you.
I would love it.
Yeah, you feel really stupid,
That'd be
wouldn't you? Last of all, what do you think about Dan's predictions so far? Because he's been kind of hinting it harder than
Out of the naughty on Hecarim.
harder than you on Xin Zhao.
About I've never played Sun Zhao in my life. About
You did it in the spring split, mate.
I'd say they're as good as his casting skills.
I mean, all I'm going to say is I bet on you guys last week, and you ran it down. So I'm personally holding you accountable for this nullity.
Yeah, you always will anyway.
All right,
I'll try
thank
not to let
you.
you down this time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nolty, and good luck with your games tomorrow. Remember, I voted for you at the top of the tower, so you bloody well do it, because I want to
pretty
continue to
right.
beat Orcs. Good luck, and we'll see you then. Thank you very much.
Alright, see ya.
How do you feel?
I'm not phased.
Not
You know,
phased.
Nolty's
like
at
you
lea-
said, he's numb to it.
Nolty's at least will live longer than Orcs' predictions.
That's true.
Everyone, 30 years' time, maybe Nolty's grown up, he has some kids, and they go, Dad, what does Nolty's at least mean?
And every time when he has kids and they're like, oh, there's a spider in the bath, he'll just be like, no,
Not again!
every time.
I like that he's also burnt out the Xin Zhao. He's like, I've never played Xin Zhao. I'm like, you did, dude, twice, and it was not pretty. I'm glad about that. Let's have a little look at the black. See how everything is going to be phasing out coming into tomorrow's game. So, we're starting the day off with XL versus Enclave, then Envision versus MnM. Winner of those two games will go up against each other, and then we'll go on to our tower challenge. Now, let's get a little bit spicy. Envision or Enclave, if they get themselves wins, they'll be the first team to take MnM out who aren't an LEC sister team.
And it'd be the same if Enclave beat XL.
Yeah.
So both of them have a chance to do the first time ever knocking those teams down a peg.
I mean, it's a tough call. It's a tough thing to ask about any team.
It is a tough call. It is a
Especially
very
teams
tough
who
call.
I know how to guarantee
have
it.
struggled.
I predict that XL and MnM will win tomorrow. And it's done.
If you lose,
It's-
I'm actually...
It's done. It's done. It's actually done. I've
have to
signed
write it. It has to be written down.
I'll get a pen. I'll write it down just after this.
Well, speaking of everything going on for UKLC, obviously, this is only week 5. We've still got a few more weeks to go. But on the 1st of September, we do have our grand finals over on Twickenham. There is limited tickets left. So if you want to get your hands on that and come down to see us live on the show, make sure you head over to uklc.gg/tickets and make sure you get yourself into the event. Do you want to do a slash?
There's my slash.
There we go. So
Feisty.
make sure you do get involved in that. And if you want to get involved in the conversation, head over to our Twitter, LVP UKLol. Use the hashtag UKLC to get involved in the conversation. Leave some tweets, leave some memes, poke fun at Orcs for how bad he is.
Tweet your predictions. They can't be worse than mine.
And someone needs to do the
To be fair,
Spider-Man meme of
they
Civic
almost
Piano.
are. They almost are.
Almost.
So one last thing before we do that, if you want to figure out what you want to be predicting, you don't know what the hell's going on, make sure you head over to the YouTube channel, LVP UK LOL. Get yourself up to date on the VODs and videos, see how everything is focusing out. Guys, bring out the predictions. Bring out the predictions one more time. I just want to rub this in Orcs' face because I think Twitter are still beating you. Holy
Everyone's
moly.
beating me.
Look
I'm
at
tanking.
16?
I'm tanking for Carousel. Leave me alone.
He needs that recurve bow.
I
Got
want the
bad RNG.
spatula. Just wait.
Oh,
you know,
man.
when I get 2 spatulas, I get an extra prediction. That's how it works, right?
I think so. We might have to throw a dog a bone at this point, but thank you very much for joining us here at day 1 of week 5 of the UKLC. Where are we? Thank you very much for watching. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place for week 2 and for our Tower Challenge. So until then, we'll see you later.
See ya.